What the Bahrain Grand Prix told us about F1 in 2022. Well, the first race of the season has been and gone, and I think it's safe to say we learnt a lot about the sorts of things we can expect from 2022 Formula 1. New cars, new regulations, and a whole load of new drama. Let me break it down for you. DRS is powerful. Measuring the success of the drag reduction system on the new cars was very difficult to work out. Overall, it seemed to be slightly more powerful, which makes sense seeing as the rear wings are bigger in nature. But the Leclerc-Verstappen battle perhaps made it seem a bit stronger than it actually was. The understanding is, Leclerc was deploying almost all of his energy in the early parts of the lap to try and break that crucial 1-second DRS operating window. Unfortunately for Charles, he failed to do this on a few occasions, and Verstappen, being 9/10ths back, got the DRS and deployed his battery, and was able to attack into the braking zone of turn 1. The differences in speed between the two was absolute madness, and the battle itself was just great to watch. Tyres do not last. Coming into this season, Pirelli was very open about the fact that they would be building more durable tyres and to expect a lot of one-stop races over the course of the season. Well, that didn't quite go to plan, did it? Drivers were massively struggling with the tyres no matter which compound they put on. So much so, some teams were forced into a 3-stop strategy. I'm certainly not complaining though, as having more than one stop allows for greater variation in strategy, and I think all F1 fans want that. McLaren are dreadful. I'm sorry, McLaren fans, I tried to coat it with a better word than dreadful, but that pretty much sums up their Bahrain Grand Prix weekend. They were the only team to roll the dice and start on the medium tyres, and that did not work for them one bit, having them run in 18th and 20th for most of the first stint. 18th and 20th! For McLaren, the team that has been consistently improving over the last few years. It is just completely mind-boggling. I have no doubt that they will eventually get their heads around the problems of the car, but they better not leave it too long. The Steiner ship has set sail. Wow. Haas this weekend were absolute legends. Kevin Magnussen managed to have a sensational qualifying, sticking it in P7, and then converted it into a P5 after the Red Bull troubles right at the end of the race. Mick Schumacher was also incredibly close to scoring points, but just fell away after the safety car restart. The challenge Haas now face is keeping this performance up. We've seen them fall away in the past after having strong starts to the season. 2022 Formula 1 is about constantly developing and upgrading. I really hope they don't fall away. Mercedes customer teams struggling. Now, I've mentioned McLaren, who of course have Mercedes power in their car, but let's talk about the others. Mercedes themselves managed to snag themselves a very unlikely P3 and P4, which on pure pace was never on the cards. Before the safety car came out, Hamilton was 35 seconds behind Leclerc and Russell was 50. Then if we throw Aston Martin and Williams into the equation, well, let's just put it this way. They were at the back of the field and have a hell of a lot of work to do. The Mercedes power unit lacking is certainly not something I was expecting to say in 2022. Ferrari are the real deal. It's been their first race win in 910 days. I promise I wasn't counting. And they genuinely look like the team to beat. It's all well and good them snatching pole position on the Saturday, but for Ferrari to also have the upper hand over Red Bull in race pace on the Sunday can only mean good things. Carlos Sainz was clearly not too happy with finishing P2 to Leclerc, but he has been struggling for pace all weekend in comparison to his teammate. And to be gifted second right at the end with Verstappen's DNF can surely mean he'll look back on Bahrain as a decent weekend. The cars can follow-ish. One of the main reasons for this complete regulation overhaul this year was to help improve the racing. So the big question is, did it? I'm not entirely convinced. Not that the actual philosophy of creating less dirty air didn't work, more the fact that there are other issues the cars have to handle, such as overheating and managing the tyres, as a couple of examples. The wheel-to-wheel action was really good, especially in the opening laps, but the cars also did spread out quite massively through the mid-part of the Bahrain Grand Prix. There you have it, some learnings from the first race of the season. What was your biggest takeaway from the Bahrain Grand Prix? Let us know in the comment section below.